Do 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 do.
All right, JD.
Thank you. It feels good to have Christ in the very first
Page or
THROV
anywhere
program.
to me at all, I can share it. I can get there because I can't leave the host page.
CC, we're hearing you, so just so you know. All right, so next up, Indy, would you like to do the introduction of who we have next?
Yeah.
And then who's on deck?
Niall
is on deck.
Niall is
On deck.
on deck, and Jason, Steve.
Right. So Steve is up next.
Steve's
So
up.
Welcome,
Niall's
Steve.
on deck.
Very well done. Very well done. I'm so proud to be introduced by you. I want to say, but just before I start, this is a poem. I don't normally do poems. I sing my songs, but this would not exist if it wasn't for CC and the Human Room Open Voice. I created it because of this day, and I dedicate it to the success of this organization and to CC and all you folks that are making it happen. So this poem, I will read it to you now. Title: The Woodpecker's Tongue, the Crocodile's Jaw, and the Voice. Woodpecker. Woodpecker is prophetically wagging once more its tongue at me. And don't you know, as usual, he's as loud yet cautious as he can be. I whistle and back to his remarks, and he snaps his head around. Then jackhammers a rhythmic, rapid fire of resonant tree thud sounds. There is a wonderful sophistication in his expressions of simplicity. What a noble pleasure if I could understand him and he could comprehend me. But his song pattern and mine have no meaning for either of us, it seems. Simple sense locked away in the laws of nature, only imagined in our dreams. Ah, yes. I also wonder if that creature has woodpecker dreams. Are they of wood chopping? Or another friend's mischievous screams? Well, I try to connect again and aim some words at him and try to say a comment, a brief question, an exclamation, but he quickly darts away. Oh, if we only had the wisdom to understand the woodpecker's tongue, maybe we would have the special secret of life and stay forever young. Crocodile. A crocodile with his powerful jaw, one of nature's most formidable, fearless creatures that I ever saw. Well, he utters a knowledgeable message with a deep, cavernous expression, and it absolutely demands and insists on your apprehensive attention. I tremble with the nerve-rattling monster Harley motorcycle rumble and fearfully want to frantically flee, not wishing at all to fall or stumble. But I sense an archaic, deep, abiding fear of the message I think he has to say. I suspect a depth of knowledge, but I'm still driven desperately to get far, far away. But maybe, perhaps it's possible, I have this croc's message misconstrued. And these expressions are simply sage words of love, not wishing to be rude. Oh, if we only had the wisdom to understand the crocodile's bold monologue, then we might have the delight and infinite joy of understanding the noble frog. Voice. Well, perhaps the mortal voice could be a joyful expression of oral art, unless these uttering words were void of meaning, not from the heart. If just random raindrops on a barren soil of a cloud-filled sunless day, puffing up little dust clouds and then simply sinking, going away. But if one's words, thoughts, or expressions are comprehended by even a few, it seems to me it would be a wonder, amazing, yet a mystery, even if true. I imagine this temporal spiritual world of ours could be a much better place if we truly understood one another in word, song, and face to face. So, see, if benevolence, kindness, and gratitude permeate your words too, folks will listen, smile, and be thankful they heard the real muse in you. Perhaps if we could learn from the crocodile's jaw and the woodpecker's tongue, we might understand all creatures' voices and the songs that were sung. Words in the water, words on the wind, words from the soul, Mother Earth's room, infinite variety without end.
Wow.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. The hidden poet is live. Wow, where'd that come from? That's amazing.
That was very good.
You made my heart glow with that response.
What
It's
a
magical.
tribute. That was beautiful, Steve. Wow.
That was
Thank you. I want to know if the little girl liked it, the little one.
She just said that was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And I'm very proud to be a part of this, CC. I commend you. It's an honorable enterprise, a gracious one of just peace and harmony, and I wish it a million times over success. We're going to make it that way. I'm going to try my best. I know that.
You've been a supporter, and I've felt your genuine, compassion for the real root of this right from the beginning, and I'm really grateful for that. And this would not be happening if not for the gotta put it back into the root of the tree, the Buttonwood. Thank you, Anne Marie.
Good.
So I think I'm up next. I can skip my introduction. Yeah, let's keep the time going. I only have 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay,
so
but your niece insists on introducing you. Let her do it.
All right, she can. And Indy can introduce me any day she'd like.
no.
She doesn't.
Now, Niall.
Oh my
Yay.
goodness! Yeah, there's no S. It's Niall. I'm not Niles from
And
Frasier.
Jason,
So 3 minutes. Here we go. It's a lot. I didn't expect for this. I have no plan for this. I have no future awareness of this moment, and I was graciously able to be gifted the opportunity to jump through the right hoops to be able to be here. It's a somewhat obscure link. So you go down to the bottom of the Buttonwood, the page on the link, and then you click the green one that says unlock FAFSA, and then they ask you integrity questions. You have to be honest, and you have to be yourself, and you can't be malevolent. Just please be yourselves and come join the team, because this is a really truly great enterprise. This is people loving each other. This is I'm not a spokesman for anything. I'm living in Florida. I'm working on my own stuff, but realistically, I am telling you the truth. I love these people, and I admire these people, and I am so grateful for them. Now, him stepping into Crocodile, my name being Nile, I was named Nile from birth because it's the largest river in the world, and it flows from south to north. They wanted me to be a leader, not a follower. And I feel like I lived up to that. But it really comes with a lot of engagements. The more responsibility you have, the more you have to stand up for. And once you open a door, you can't close it. So you have to live up to these things, and you have to be a virtuous person. Once you realize the elegance of simplicity, that everything is just unconditional love for yourself and for everyone else, then you have to embody that. And it gets so hard over time. It gets so abrasive and intrusive. It absorbs your every thought until you build up anxiety and you don't know how to work through it. But you don't have to do all that, man. Just be honest with yourself. That's step number 1. Be honest with yourself, and then you can move on to the next step. It's a long road, my friends, but I am here going through it as much as anyone else. And I'm just gonna play a little song on my mini booger. It's a guitar that was gifted to me. It says Booger right on the top there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's a little, I don't know, trapezoidal type thing. So I'm just going to strum a few chords that I know, and I'm going to, I am going to leave you. You'll know I'm done when I say the Lewis Carroll quote that has to do with the crocodile, because I was always told to beware of irony. And I have videos of me swimming with gators, lifting their wild jaws up out of the water in the middle of the Everglades. I have videos of this, but what I don't do is mess with crocodiles. They can open and close their jaws with the same amount of strength. I don't mess with irony. My name is Niall. If I got eaten by a crocodile, people would just be like, yeah, that makes sense. All right, so real quick, I know I'm running out of time here. Let me just. Angle is everything. All right. Well, that's that. Here's the poem. How doth the little crocodile improve his shining tail and pour the waters of the Nile on every golden scale? How cheerfully he seems to grin, how neatly spreads his claws and welcomes little fishies in with gently smiling jaws.
Oh,
Night.
That was great, Niall.
that was
Thank you.
wonderful.
That was very nice, all of it. Thank
Wow.
Thank you, Niles.
Wow.
That was
From the heart and
wonderful.
soul. Wow. Thank you.
Thank Lewis Carroll, or whatever his real name was.
Is now. Oh, you up?
Jason Wright is coming up now, and Ali is on deck.
Thank you.
Hi there. What a great experience this has been. Really, some guitar playing, some beautiful poetry. My name is Jason Wright. I'm the editor of oddballmagazine.com. Right there. I am a podcast host, and I'm the president of the Oddball Foundation, a nonprofit for mental health advocacy, social justice, and healing our ailing environment. So, Cece, thank you so much. Wow, what a great thing you've started here. So, and thank you, Buttonwood. I have a poem I'm going to read from my new book. It's right here. It's called Train of Thought 2, Almost Home. This is the proof of it. So it's I don't think it's available yet, but it will be available on Lulu. But so real quick about the book, right? So Train of Thought was written on the Red Line of Boston, Massachusetts, and it started off this is the second one. In the first one, it started off in North Quincy and ended off at Charles MGH, which is the Red Line. And then it picked up at Kendall. And then home would be Davis Square at the time. So home to Davis. So Kendall, reborn. I am reborn. My life may be torn. I may have grown old. The warmth has gone cold, but I am reborn. Generated like a science age, old but never told, the science of self. I learned today how much it takes for me to break down. Learned today how to rebuild in this world I live, this mental dome guarded by medicated angels. Each weathered word passed down from me to her, and she gets the finalized product, a project that makes nothing seem like everything's gone wrong. But the truth is I'm learning to live. It was raining, pouring down the remains of the day onto my borrowed umbrella. I'll promise I'll give it back, Marie, I said, and got up from my desk to leave. I wrote on a notepad, today is a new day. When I see it tomorrow, it will make me smile. It'll put me in the right place. I just need to learn how to slow to a crawl. Then Grouch and Eli rock the track, and I'm back to writing the truth I will let you know at the end of this book. At the end of this book I live in has 365 pages. So far, I'm on chapter 31. I
Wow.
don't remember the last 25. It feels like I've only been awake and alive since 26. Now I'm on my mission to change what's written, to make the hero a villain and her to kill him. Can you manage the tragedies of life? Boys are born and grown old to watch their mother and father die. Then by that time, the little boy has grown into a man and has his own fam. So where am I in this chapter? I'm a freak of nature. What's saved in a life overwhelmed with hatred? The heat I feel all year long until my blood runs cold, dripping off into the sidewalk. Dead blood doesn't clot, it just washes away with the rain, and all that's left is a strange stain, built and instrumented from someone's pain. Or your own, as you scream at the walls. You're not alone, I am. You are the man with the fam, and I am stuck on this train, a man made of sand. Screaming at walls, wanting to write poems, a letter to the world, but I'm bleeding ink on the sidewalk. Dead men can't write. It's almost time to stop. Almost time to stop. In a moment's notice, Jekyll turns to Hyde. Jekyll tries to hide. In a minute, St. Francis, we will have a sandwich. What am I writing? This is madness. This is madness. Well, here I go again with the flow, stupid and zen, like a box of matches. We light and unite the same stage with new players to play this game. Some more people enter the train while I enter the Wu-Tang, where I realize that I failed. They have no idea but see a loose-leaf writer pounding the pavement. Wishing I could fly like a bird or a frisbee, a boomerang, I'll leave, then my mind will travel free and eventually come back to me. It is this inertia that stops you and moves me. I'm just a diamond riding in London, swimming like locusts and seashells, being risen to the top to realize no one cares about seashells. And my mind retraces its steps to find an answer to a question I don't even know. In a book called Dramatist and Dramedy, this is as good as it gets, folks. Choke on the melody. Let the tears fall freely. We all have to be free. Freedom. Freedom in this kingdom, and I am kingdom. And off you go, and just like that, I'll never see you again. So,
Well done, Jason.
I love
Jason?
that format. I love the way that your each one like went into each other.
Yeah.
Very humorous, but
yeah, that's the idea of the train of thought.
right.
That's it's very literal. You know, when you have a train of thought, it just rolls on, and you know, a lot of things I do are very literal, like oddball, right? It's a 3-ball. It's a red 3-ball, which is just an odd ball.
Yeah.
That's all it is. You know, and I do that a lot, you know.
Jason's going to be back for the nonprofits, and he's got a story to tell of who he is and where it came from, and it's an amazing adventure that he's on.
Yeah.
It's truly out of all the nonprofits that start from nothing, this man's life and story has manifested into what he's going to share in the nonprofit section. He'll be back.
Thanks, CC.
Piece you just shared was incredible, I thought. And I just want to thank you.
Okay, great.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, who do we have next?
Appreciate that.
We have Eileen and Derek is on deck.
Okay, well, thanks for having me, Indy. That's very nice. And this is something that some of you might have heard, but since Niall is on, and I've dedicated this to him because he taught me how to read it. This is the very first poem I wrote, and Niall gave me suggestions on how to read it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. Go with it.
Go with it. Well, I've been teaching Reiki at the Buttonwood, and I got this idea that I should have a picture of myself in front of the Buttonwood to put on my website to show where I teach, because I think that would be a good, good thing.
And you
And then
photoshopped me in next to you, and I have to sign off for the rights.
What did you say?
I said you photoshopped me in next to you, and I have to sign off for the waiver. Is that what's going on here? There's a non-disclosure going on. Oh,
No.
sorry.
I wasn't sure whether that was a joke or not. But anyway, I thought I would write, I would do it to promote my business. But then I thought, why not promote what the Buttonwood is about? And then I got to this poem. So I will read it, all edited by me. Nobody else touched it. Just Niall taught me how to read it and suggested how I should read it. So here goes. The Buttonwood tree, a great place to be. There's music, Reiki, and artwork to see. Take a look, read a book, have a snack, rest your back, while good vibes hold you intact. Take a class, you will have a blast. Look through the glass, enter the Buttonwood tree, and feel free. I wrote that on February 22nd, and Nicole DeLucia, a Reiki 2, 1 and 2 student, took my picture. And thank you, Anne Marie, for deciding on what picture to put on your website.
That was magnificent. That was one of the best poems I've ever heard you read. That was beautiful.
Thank you. I'm used to reading other people's poems.
Yes, but you know, when you write it, it's all you, and it's all beautiful. So thank you so much, Eileen.
No problem.
All righty. So we're coming to we're coming to the bottom of the list, and then I think we have a little extra time before 5 o'clock when we start round 2. I'm going to leave it to Cece to decide what we want to do, if we want to start going around again or not, or
So we do have Derek.
yes,
That's up next.
Derek's going to be up next. Yes.
But then after Derek, we're not sure whether we should go around again or the move to make.
All right. So this is right. So I think what we'll do, and I'll talk with Cece about it. We'll come back to you after Derek's performance, and to let you know just a little bit that, of course, this is a free performance and a free platform. If you would like to donate to the Buttonwood Tree, you are certainly welcome to, and we'll put up in the chat how to do that.
Honestly, that link is a little intimidating. That green link down there at the bottom, it's the correct one, and it doesn't ask you to verify through your email account. It doesn't ask you anything. It just asks you if that you're willing to not be a bully. So if you just answer those questions and you're honest with yourself, then you can join in on the initial chat. Just click that green link down at the bottom of the link page, and that's the one to follow through to the end, because it really doesn't make you verify anything. It just you know.
Those are the
be yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, those are the principles of involvement, which we've all agreed to, and they're quite extraordinary, and it's one of the things that makes this platform, this art form, different from many others.
Right.
One of the many features that makes it different from others.
I feel like it almost helps provide the environment for us to be able to share honestly and openly, and also respect each other in whatever form we bring, however we bring it, and to just love. So thank you, Cece, and thank you everybody for being a part of this.
Yeah.
And now
Thank you. Yeah, Marie Louise has an incredible sense of integrity. She's a great artist, and it's really profound to hear her even get mad at anybody who steps on the principles of love. I love it. I love you guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Cece.
Take
and without further ado, Derek.
Yay.
So yeah, as this is going, I'm trying to pull in more people. I'm trying to get, I've had people do the POIs and sign up and become a member. I'm just trying to get them in here to remind them, hey, there's a meeting going on. I think we need more performers in here. So in an act of getting that done, I've decided to step up and read something from last month. This is a snapshot in time. So to be honest, being and to be is to always change. So I feel like I've changed a bit since writing this. This is when I was really deep into the Bible. I feel like I got really inside of it, kind of had my blinders on to anything unbiblical. But I think it was good for me. It got me to see it from the inside out, and then kind of see myself and how I was getting maybe a little too absorbed in it. But this is a snapshot in time from last month. Now, I want to just point out the difference between positivity and negativity. So positivity is good. It's good to be positive. It's good to see things optimistically, but sometimes we use positivity to kind of mystify ourselves, or in other words, lie to ourselves about what's really going on. When we're negative, sometimes we're doing the same thing, but in a negative light. The reasons why we're negative, I don't know. But I can say that the reasons we're positive sometimes is out of fear for the reality. So this, what I'm about to read, is about fear. And I wrote this a few months ago. I'm not sure I agree with everything I wrote, but if there's anything in here that resonates, let me know. So, here we go. What separates humans from animals? Is it emotions? I feel there is little intelligence in emotion. Animals can feel emotion.
Yes.
Is it fear? Animals can fear as well. Is it intelligence? Well, dolphins are intelligent. Are they animals? The thing that separates us from animals as humans, I feel, is the ability to interface with the supernatural. Side note, I think we do this out of fear, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so moving on. Fear is an emotion that is useful. It activates fight or flight. Fear can make family members turn on each other, though.
Yes.
When we do not experience fear, it turns into trauma. But living in a perpetual emotional state not only makes it hard to have meaningful conversation, but makes it hard to move on from the trauma. I will follow your rules, but I will not follow your mentality. I don't know how that fits in, but I wrote it there. So, and I just want to make a side note to Jason. You said that you have 365 pages, and the number of your oddball is number 3, which is Dale Earnhardt's number. This is someone who didn't live in fear. He didn't live in fear. So I wrote here, last paragraph, the Bible says do not fear 365 times. That's all it's about. 1,200 pages, 73 books, one God, no fear. Have faith in something bigger than yourself. Believing in yourself is not enough. You have to believe in something bigger, something that you can't see. And that's it. Thanks.
Very good.
And everyone has to know that Derek and Matt have been by my side making this thing into a reality out of a dreamscape. We would not be here without their independent input. And they both have the ability to know when to say, yes, I'll give, and no, I don't go there. They're really good at taking care of their giving and receiving, which is priceless when it comes to collaboration in the arts. So I just want to throw a little extra thank you out to Matt and Derek, who we would not be here. And Brian, you really, I know you're listening there. This whole thing technically would have been much more difficult without Brian. So every now and again, Brian, I'm going to throw you some love because you deserve it. So thank you.
Yeah. And now we have, who's next? Terry. Terry is next. If she's here.
I am.
Okay.
Hi there. I first came in on my phone and then I realized that it was easier at my computer, so I changed where I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Terry LaChance.
Yay! All right, and you know me, I'm going to do a song, so it's called Be in the Driver's Seat. Kind of goes along with a lot of things that people are saying today. Face your fears. Be strong, be invincible. Don't let them overrun. Know when to hold your tongue. it right without regrets. No need to get upset. Face your fears. What's stopping you from life's challenge to get it right before you're gone? Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Face your fears. Be strong, be invincible. Don't let them overrun. Know when to hold your tongue. Face your fears. Take steps, don't hesitate. Be in the driver's seat of your life. Be in the driver's seat of your life. Be in the driver's seat of your life.
Yeah.
Well, be in the driver's seat.
I was breathing right along with you, Terry.
I know. I love that song because it gives you a little meditation right in the middle of it.
That's a good one. Breathe in the driver's seat.
Thank you.
That is good.
Yep. We all need more meditation and more breathing, deliberate breathing, right?
Yep.
So we're going to have one more performer before we moved onto the stage 2 with the nonprofits. We have who just joined us. We have Mary Jennings. So Mary is going to perform for us. And thanks for being here, Mary. Take it away, and then we'll go on to stage 2. Thanks, everybody. Welcome, Mary.
Hold on. Thank you. I was just going to observe today, but but I just suddenly feel like doing a poem. Okay. Let's see, where is it? I'm looking up on my phone here. Okay. I guess, all right. This one is called The Ride. It's coming around again. The cycle of anger, punishment, and reprieve, passed off as a lesson in gratitude, will only drain you, not sustain you. The gifts they gave you, you already paid for. Where is the worth in that? Where is the devotion they proclaim for you at the last minute? They steal your thunder by causing stormy weather in your heart and mind, then surprise. They provide unwavering support at your moment in the sun. They know what's in it for them. After making you go it alone, go without. They will forgive you this time, then do it again to remind you who knows you and loves you best. You have better things to do than to tend to their petty grievances at the expense of those who deserve your best. Time to break the cycle. Time to get off this ride. Time to stop being the ride. You can go without their devotion and unwavering support to the bitter, glorious end. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
Yay.
I heard that.
Thank you, Mary.
I heard that straight
You're
toward me.
welcome.
Thank
I
you.
remember that.
You're welcome,
I remember
Mom.
that one from the last open mic, and I'm never disappointed.
Yeah, it's one of my
When Mary
favorites.
does a poem, when Mary does a poem, even if I'm not paying attention, I'll start
Who?
paying attention as soon as like it just stands out. It's loud to me, you know. It just resonates with me. Thanks, Mary.
Nice.
You're welcome.
So actually, we're going to have one more performer. Mike is going to be performing right now. He's a songwriter and he's got a new album coming out this month. So please help us welcome Mike.
I think he's still connecting. Let's give him a minute. I think he's.
Can you hear me?
We hear ya.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
Are we gonna be able to
Cool.
see ya?
Yeah, I'm gonna be right here. I'm just gonna put this this headphone down while I sing. But I'm gonna do a Graham Parsons song today rather than
Mike, I
something
had
of my
to
own.
hang on. I had to find your. Oh, there you are on the iPhone. I see you.
Yep.
You're not under mic. So here you go.
Oh, okay.
You're on now. There you go.
Cool. Thank you very much. I'm gonna do a Graham Parsons tune today that I've been enjoying. It's called November Nights.
Thank you for being here, Mike.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Say that you listen, you say that you know me too well. You've seen all my best and you've heard all the stories I tell. You think you've been taken for granted. You're probably right. Still, I'll remember a November night when the dawn on your doorway shone white with frost. Soft love always began with the touch of your hand, and recall the morning that tossed your hair in the wind. Times made it meaningless. I'm insecure, you can tell. But why am I leaving unless time had only meant well? There's nothing left now to excite you, no reason to try. Still, I'll remember a candlelit sky in the summer surrounding the ground where you and I lay. Though we were always alone, with all secrets known, we both were aware and afraid our closeness might end. Love's like a dancer, she weaves through the danger complete. Her well-rehearsed answers and rational reasons for fear. If it increases or ceases, closeness might end.
Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much for having me.
Wow, that was beautiful.
All right. So what are we going to do next?
Share your painting. Is she here?
Can we spotlight Suzanne?
What an introduction.
I can't see everybody on the screen, so.
We're looking for
Suzanne.
Suzanne. Very good.
Suzanne has a painting to
She has to unmute and turn on her video.
Okay.
There we
Okay,
go.
here I am. So this is an impromptu idea. Hi, everyone. And congratulations to the Buttonwood tree and to Cece, Derek, and Matt. I would like to just show you a painting I did because I heard the topic is about fear. And I painted a picture about fear. So I'm going to try to put the phone up so you can see it.
Oh.
You see it?
Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes, we
Wow.
can.
Pete, miracle is in a shift in perception.
Shifts from fear to love.
I love that. That's great.
That's very nice. Yes.
Wow.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to share that because the topic is a good one at the moment.
Suzanne is dear and sacred to me in my life, and she once said that she can't paint, and now she has all these beautiful paintings. She deserves a show at the Buttonwood, by the way, someday soon.
What was that quote again?
Okay, I have to go
read,
back.
read the words.
We'll
Let
have
me make that.
A
miracle is when a shift in perception changes from fear to love.
Yes.
So that's what
Gonna
we
chew
have
on
to
that for a
remember.
while.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yes, Suzanne, I used to paint when I was in high school. I painted a lot of pictures of animals from the World Book Encyclopedia.
Nice.
So I have a whole bunch of them, but I never got back into it.
Do it now.
Yeah, that's what people...
This is a good time.
Yes.
I have to thank Cece for planting the seed in me. He said, "You can paint." I said, "No, I can't." But then I did.
Good for you.
You said the most powerful thing. This is the time. Now is now, and you have the strength. You're here.
Yep. That's
Thank
it.
All right. That's beautiful. This is also beautiful. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, and that was impromptu, so thank you. We like that.
Good.
Yeah. So we're going to move into the second stage now, where the nonprofits and experimental art forms and community groups get to share about themselves and the work that they're doing in our community. And we've invited some of the people that we know, and we're excited and grateful that they're here today. And Cece has invited some friends. And if you all know people who are running nonprofits, please share their names with us and we can be in touch with them, or you can invite them. If you're, again, new to this platform here, please check the chat often. And if you have any technical difficulties, or if you wish to donate, or if you have want to sign up for a particular stage, you can put that all in the chat and we can help you. We've got a great team, a great tech team here with Brian and Matt and Derek and Cece. So we'll get you all figured out if you have any questions or anything like that. So right now we're going to go to the nonprofit section. And first up, I want to throw in, just going to change up the order a little bit. Our friend Wendy is here. In fact, Maria, would you like to introduce Wendy? Because Maria works with Wendy or volunteers with Wendy, and they've been together for a long time. And I just want to say thank you to Mama Wendy for all you've done for my daughter and for all of our family, because you are just an angel. And so, Maria.
So thank you, Mama Wendy, for being here and for all the work that you do, and for the for opening up the channels of energy to flow where it can connect people all around the world to help others, to uplift spirits, to just radiate joy, and to spread love and peace throughout humanity and all existence. So I love you, and thank you for what you do and for who you are and for being here.
So, and you can have like, we'll do like 3 to 5 minutes for each nonprofit. And then if there's questions, then we can have a couple of minutes for questions afterwards. So I think that's how we'll go. Is that all right? All right. Take it away, Mama.
Okay, I'm not. Someone needs to unmute.
Miss Wendy. All you got to do, Miss Wendy, is touch the screen, and in the bottom left, it'll click mute or unmute.
Well, maybe I was wrong. I thought I saw Wendy join, but I could be wrong. So we'll go back to her later, even though that was a beautiful introduction, Maria. All right, so that I'm gonna, my bad. So I'm gonna jump to a good friend of mine, a woman who came to the Buttonwood Retreat to volunteer with.
Christopher Bell's here now. Who's that? That's
So I want to say thank you to Gina Polino, and a shout out to her husband John, whose birthday it is today.
Yay, happy birthday. Woo! Thank you for doing this on your husband's birthday.
So Gina runs a great nonprofit. So Gina, tell us all about what you're doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me here today. And John actually went to run out and get the dinner of his choice for his birthday. So when he comes back, I'll make sure that he knows everyone wished him a happy birthday. Thank you. So yes, I run a small nonprofit, like the day-to-day operations for Mains and Motions, which is a therapeutic horseback riding program here in town. And it's a wonderful organization. We're actually affiliated with the Hospital for Special Care, which is a great affiliation. And we serve children and adults and veterans with various needs that could benefit from time spent with the horses and doing different activities with them, guided by our staff. And I think, it's, and we are supported by, right now, our volunteer corps is down. It was about 150 pre-COVID, but now we have about 80 volunteers a week. So we're very fortunate. It's a nice environment. And by that, I guess, I know that energy was mentioned, being positive, really promoting an environment to accept everyone as for who they are, and in love. I know that sometimes when you talk about love, people get a little squeamish, but it's not a 4-letter word. It's a good 4-letter word, I should say. And it's definitely the type of environment that we try to promote at the program. I've been involved in therapeutic riding and equine activities for over 20 years now. And it just never ceases to inspire me. The people that are involved with the industry, volunteers, the participants that come, the different organizations that I have contact with. So I'd love to, if anybody has any particular questions, or I could share a personal story about the program, but otherwise I'll kind of open it up. Yep.
Okay, what's it called again? Move in Motion?
Mains, M-A-N-E-S, the ampersand motions. So a mane is the long hair on the horse's neck.
Right.
So, yeah.
I
Okay.
have a friend that volunteers at Horse Feathers, and I think she's looking for some more stuff to do.
Yeah, yeah. That actually sounds familiar, that name, Horse Feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, he's the one that introduced me to the Buttonwood, said to me, you should open your Reiki practice. You should teach Reiki there. And here I am. So I think
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah. So many of those, you know, I can't say enough about how fortunate I am to be able to not just work with the people, but with the horses. The horses bring that quiet energy
they
to the
do.
program, and they support and so they provide that non-judgmental format for people that are struggling, just to feel accepted. And they teach us many lessons about ourselves and life.
Yes, they do.
Gentle giants in the most extreme sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, it's, you know, I think I want to share a story that kind of comes to mind, because the program that I'm with now currently, Mains and Motions, I actually helped start over 20 years ago. And then after the program was on the ground, it was my dream to work full-time in the industry, and that program wasn't at that place then. So I worked at a number of other centers full-time. And the last center I worked at before Mains and Motions, I went to visit this couple that invited me to their farm just to see what they were doing with therapeutic riding. It was a very small program. They were looking to grow it. And we had such an amazing conversation that lasted like 3 hours. And I ended up giving my notice to the other center I was working at to go be with this couple, because they really taught me about that everything in life comes down to fear or love. The choices we make, what we want to promote, how we deal with everything in our lives comes down to those two things. And I think I've taken and carried that philosophy with me forward ever since then. And it has never failed me. I mean, you can't go wrong if you.
It definitely shows full love.
Yeah. I mean, I think just again, when you interact with people, if you do it with love in your heart, that energy comes forth, and everything is better. So, yeah.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you, Tina. Appreciate that.
I really appreciate you being the first presenter. I myself was working with horses. I was a horse carriage driver, which some people think is not good, but I exclusively worked with rescue horses. Mm-hmm. And so I understand that relationship, and you're the first one to do this. And I just want to say that part of the inspiration of the original was called The Human Room in the Open Voice, which was a live event 20 years ago, was during that time when I was working with horses. So the miracles and the dovetails of life are presenting themselves here now. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited about being here and being a part of this.
Well, we are grateful that you are, and I'm grateful that you're part of the Buttonwood Tree and our volunteer team. You're awesome, and I know you're doing so many good things in the world everywhere you go.
Well, thank you. I think it's been really important for me, especially after COVID, but even before, to align yourself with people that feel the same way. And the energy when you walk into the Buttonwood, it's that environment of love and acceptance, and it's just amazing. Thank you, Anne-Marie.
Yes.
My pleasure.
Mom, you're getting a bit of a repeat there. Make sure your volume's not too loud on your receiving end.
Okay.
Thanks, Judy. Thank you. All right, so I hope that's better. Next up on our list, I have Joe Young on my list, so I'm hoping that that's the right name. And Joe, you're ready to go? Are we to go, Joe?
Is Joe Young here yet? He might not be here yet. I'll call him.
Okay.
Do we have the other person that was missing earlier? Did she show up?
No, Wendy's not here yet. She's working on it.
Sounds
So,
good.
all right. So then, Ken, are you ready to go? We have Ken.
I'm ready.
You're ready. All right. Please welcome Ken Field from Honk Festival, if I have that right. Please
You
welcome.
have it right. Yeah.
Oh, yay.
Hey, so the first thing I want to say is I've been hearing about the Buttonwood. I'm up in Boston. You know, I've been hearing about the Buttonwood for years and years, for decades even. I think mostly from my old friend, sadly, who has passed, Chuck Frtasek, who changed his name to Chuck O'Meara, who had a band called Forever Einstein. And I think mostly from Chuck, but so I'm glad to finally have a chance to join with this community. It seems like just a wonderful community. And thanks to CC for inviting me to talk about the Honk Festival. CC and I and Derek, I think, and maybe some others played together some years ago. But I'm one of the about a dozen members of a non-hierarchical organizational organizing committee for the Honk Festival. The Honk Festival started in Somerville about 15 years ago. It's a festival of activist street bands. And that means it's a festival of bands whose main reason for being is to make positive change in their communities or in the world, maybe. And we started out the first festival in 2006. There were 12 bands, mostly from Boston. And more recently, there have been as many as 30 bands coming from all over the world, 600 musicians, and thousands of people attending the free festival. It's all free. It takes place over Indigenous Peoples Day weekend in October. And it spawned about 20 other honk festivals all over the world. Other people who've come to our festival, or maybe they haven't, but they've heard about it, and they've decided that they want to have a similar gathering of musicians who are trying to make positive change in their world and have that in their towns. So there's honk festivals in New York and Providence, in Seattle, in Austin, Texas, in Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia, in London, I think 3 or 4 festivals in Brazil. It's just kind of gone crazy. So there's this global community of honk festivals. And when the pandemic hit, of course, we didn't know if we'd be able to do a live festival. In the end, we couldn't. We breathed in and breathed out, as advised by Terry, even though we hadn't heard her say it yet. And we decided to do something different. We decided to have an online festival, of course, and we called it Honk United. And the interesting thing was we invited all the other honk festivals, the 22 honk festivals around the world, to participate in this unified festival. Normally, these other festivals are totally independent of us. We share a mission, but they're totally independent. So we all got together and we had over a week of 70 hours of live, pre-recorded music, interviews, panels, all about what we do, why we do it. And of course, these bands are both great musically, but also very inspiring visually and fun. And there's a tie-in with the circus community, with lots of other communities, but it's become this incredible community. And we had an amazing festival online called Honk United. So I have a 1-minute video. If I can share screen, I don't know, Derek, if that's possible, but I could show a 1-minute video if I have time. That was basically an introduction before the festival happened. We had participation from all 7 continents, including Antarctica. There's actually a band down there. The people who are stationed there have a band, and they sent a video.
Wow.
So I'm going to try to share a screen, see if that works. It may let me do it. It may let me do it. Let's see.
Hang on, Ken. I may have to change a preference here. All right. No, there you go.
All right. So let me start this, and hopefully you'll be able to hear it.
Make sure you say add computer sound.
Hello from beautiful McMurdo Station in Antarctica.
Wow.
That is incredible.
That was amazing. Thank
And
you.
it was very uplifting. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful.
It was a pretty cool thing.
What?
It was a pretty cool thing, and we're now deciding. We're meeting. The organizing committee here in the Boston area is meeting, trying to decide what we're going to do this coming year. Will we be able to have a live festival, in-person festival? Will we want to have some kind of hybrid festival with something online and some live things? It basically turned something that was, of course, a big negative into a huge positive. We had thousands of people watching all over the world. People were chatting with each other. People didn't know each other. And it just became this huge community that was impossible to do live and in person. So it was a beautiful thing. But thanks very much for letting me present that. There's a website, honkfest.org is our Boston one. Honkunited.org is what we did. So I'll stop. Thank you.
Incredible.
Thank you. And I guess just a little something for Ken. Ken was the very first person that I thought of when I was trying to introduce this concept to the world, because what Honk does was the closest thing that I could think of about not being about me and being truly giving it to the world. It's so obvious even when you watch the video that it wasn't about any one person, that it was really about all of our energy together. And just going down the street, it was like the selfless quality of it. I called him right away, and the magic of his relationship to me in life is also just like Matt and Derek. I'm just blessed to have these people in my life that belong in your life because your souls line up. And so Ken's one of those, and thank you for being here. And especially a little thank you to Karen. Ken's a friend of mine who lost a wife a while back. I don't know if to bring that up is appropriate or not here and now, but her soul's always been in the picture too.
Thank you very much, Susie. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ken, for that. And up next, we have Mama Wendy with Artists for World Peace.
Wow.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the beautiful introduction before. I could not get on at that time. So it's great to follow Ken. So my name is Wendy Black Nasta, and my headquarters is right here in Middletown, Connecticut. So I'll just give you a super quick update on how I started Artists for World Peace. And the year was 2000. As a jewelry designer, and as a matter of fact, the concept for this, I don't even know if you know, Anne-Marie, but it started at the Buttonwood tree. One of my students was belly dancing for the first time at your weekly belly dance event. So I had a jewelry class every Wednesday. So I canceled the class. In solidarity, we all went to the Buttonwood tree to see Celeste dance for the first time. It was a gift to herself on her 50th birthday. Wow. And it was sitting there in the Buttonwood tree, seeing these belts that these belly dancers were wearing. So I thought I wanted to make one of these belts. And literally the next day, I got a phone call from Bill Daly of the Hartford Courant. He was the reporter there at the time. And he called, he said, I'm calling 4 visual artists living in Connecticut to ask, what are you doing with all of the European currency that's being taken out of circulation to be replaced by the euro? So I thought what I'll do is I'll take all the currency and combine it with gemstones from around the world and make an international belt for peace. At the time, my thinking was for dancers to wear and then pass along to different countries and invite dancers to put their energy into this as a way of celebrating world peace and unity of all of us, and also a way to show how beautiful each of us are and how different we all are. So to me, it was a celebration of peace, diversity, unity. So that's how the concept started. And it took 2 years to, I didn't want to buy any of the coins. And I was stationed for years in the Diamond District in New York, where I'm very blessed to have international clients. So I asked them, can you please give me a coin from your country? And I told them this vision that I had. And it took two years just to have people donate the coins, we started with 150 countries being represented. And 2 years later, after a lot of my students, and I had 2 interns, make the International Peace Belt with me, it left to be blessed in India by a guru named Amachi. And I just wanted it to be blessed and prayed over so that the vision would be coming to fruition in a really beautiful way, calling on all the artists of the world to perform and meditate on world peace. So when it got to India, which was September of 2003, little did I know it led a peace procession of 150,000 people. And the caretaker who was filming it for us contacted me and said, you have to get up a website because everybody is asking how can they bring this peace belt to their country. So I quickly put up a website called this concept Artists for World Peace. And that launched this entire now international organization where we've been to 35 countries and the story just keeps going and it's amazing. So what happened is after all these artists came in India, the caretaker of the Peace Belt said, we have to leave something behind. So we decided to sponsor an orphan in India. My husband and I had already been sponsoring Tibetan refugees at a Buddhist monastery. So we took in another child and called him our first child of peace. Since then, as the International Peace Belt has traveled around the world, we take in orphans in different countries. And now fast forward almost 20 years, we have a family of children around the world made up of all races, all religions, all nationalities, all genders. It's the most unbelievable story because 20 years later, of course, some of our kids are in their 30s. And my youngest was given to me at 5 days old in Africa and Tanzania. And now she's 14 years old. So this story just keeps going. And what happened was we wanted to go and visit our children and really let them know that they're being loved and supported by a family in America. So it was when we got to countries such as Tanzania that I realized we could do so much as artists from America. We could create these amazing events, raise money, and then travel and start these humanitarian projects. So that led to us opening an orphanage in Africa. We built a school in Ecuador. We built a battered women's shelter in Cambodia. And our work just keeps going and going. And being that we are in Middletown, Connecticut, no matter where we travel, we try to do something home. So 10% of the money that we raise goes to the Amazing Grace Food Bank right here in Middletown. And we do these projects. It's just fascinating to me because the money's raised by the arts, but now we're made up of almost as many doctors as artists, because when we started building these health centers in different areas, we needed doctors to come and provide healthcare. So our mission, Africa, thank God, is self-sustaining. We built the health center. Our doctors from America trained Tanzanian eye doctors. They took over the running of the health center. In Africa, we're still very much involved with our children, but all of our projects that we created are now self-sustaining, which was the goal, is to get to a country, create a project, train locals on how to take on this project so that we could then move on to the next country. So that's our approach, is not to just stay in one place, but to empower the people in that country to take over what we've built. So in 2017, we came back to America and replicated everything we did in Africa here. And we started with Native American communities. So for instance, the free eye clinic that's so successful in Africa, we've replicated on the Rosebud Reservation through a project we're calling Native Eyes. So every June we're going there. We had to cancel, of course, due to COVID, but we did have a travel team of 52 ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians, where there's so much energy now with Artists for World Peace that when we go, we could take care of 1,500 patients at each clinic. So our impact is is pretty profound, especially considering it started by going to watch belly dancing at the Buttonwood tree. So to me, it's so much fun. It's like you just, you get this vision and you just go and don't worry if you can make it or not. And so the way I look at it is just every day, we're approached by so many people. We're welcoming to all artists, any artist who wants to work with us, contact us through our website, artistsforworldpeace.org, or, we're right in Middletown. We're right on in the DeKoven House on Washington Street. So artists approach us. Many times we collaborate. Our biggest event is annually. It's an Artists for World Peace on Broadway. That's really our biggest fundraiser of the year. We had to cancel our 10th anniversary February, which was heartbreaking because this was going to be an amazing year, but it's 25 Broadway stars every year come together and perform for us. And of course we have rock bands and storytellers and every artist that you can imagine. And my husband, as a musician, started an amazing concert series 10 years ago, where every concert, it's called One Concert, One Child. It's a monthly concert. We run it as donations. So if you come to a concert, you make a donation. We don't care how much you put in. And those concerts help us raise our children around the world. So that's a little tight summary. We're officially not going on 19 years old, but we actually started right before 2000. And it's a journey that just is so exciting and beautiful. And my whole concept is, what can we do as artists? How can we change the world? How can we collaborate? How can we spread joy and love? And that's our guiding light. So there it is. So it's a pleasure to be here. And Maria and Indy work with us. So I want to say thank you for inviting me to come and talk a little bit about what we do.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's like beyond wow. I'm floored. I am floored. The me speechless. There's a moment. One of the things that built this dream, as that dream was that I was basically open mics, poets, and then I saw the division between venues and the division between and competition was seeping in. And then so out of that, people were saying, well, why don't you do one? Because the little open mic scene was blowing up. I wrote the series, the open mic poems, and that started going up. And why don't you? I said, no, because, and then I turned and I saw the activists being artists. And instead of art forms within art forms dividing between the subgenres within art forms, and it goes the other way. And it's a miracle that you're here. And Anne Marie, you really picked some beautiful people to bring in to make this happen. So, yeah, but I'm saying, and then the match, that Buttonwood tree, definitely. I know Mike is in Arizona, but he doesn't know that that's what do you call the thing that he goes to? One of those centers on the earth. A vortex. Yeah, the Buttonwood tree is a vortex on the earth. I'm going to tell you right now. Thank you, Anne Marie.
And I want to thank Susan Allison also, because she started the Buttonwood tree, and as a matter of fact, I opened for her at a concert for One Concert, One Child at Mama Wendy's house. So that, thank you, Susan.
It's all circular.
And thank you, Mama Wendy. And thank you all for being here and for sharing, your lives in this art form and being vessels of love in every way that we're able to be. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It goes to show the strength when we unite. There's nothing we can't do. So thank you for having me.
You are an inspiration to us all. And God bless you in your work. Your work is amazing. I'm always amazed at the work that you're doing and just blows my mind. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think Middletown is blessed with just such fabulous people like Wendy. And some of the people that I met, two people that I met years ago when my oldest daughter, Elise, was in, I think, like 3rd or 5th grade. She started going to Oddfellows Playhouse, and these two dear people took her under their wing and really helped my daughter just grow and blossom. And they have done that for countless children through Oddfellows Playhouse, and then later through Art Farm. And so my dear friends, Marcella Wheeler Trowbridge and Dick Wheeler are going to be, I got that backwards, but Marcella and Dick, Marcella and Dick are just two phenomenal people who make up this gorgeous Middletown community full of Wesleyan people, but just Middletown is just so amazing with all the people that we have. And Marcella and Dick are two leaders who are also, like Wendy, making huge impacts on people's lives. So please help me welcome Marcella and Dick to tell us about what they're doing now. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Welcome, guys, and bless you for being here.
No, thank you for having us. We're honored to be invited. So my name's Dick Wheeler, and I'm the director of Oddfellows. And then I'll let Marcella talk more about Art Farm. But Oddfellows Playhouse is a youth theater here in Middletown. It's been around since 1975. So now in whatever that is, the 46th, 47th year, 46. Okay, I can do math. And you know, like for everybody in the arts, it's been a challenging year, and we've had to go to a lot of virtual platforms to reach kids. And you know, Oddfellows is particularly committed to kind of making arts accessible to every kid, and believes that every child has the right to arts experiences. We're performing arts focused, but also do visual arts classes, music, dance, theater, and a lot of circus as well. And so after a mostly virtual winter right now, we're really looking forward to outdoor classes this spring. Last fall, we were able to hold outdoor classes on the front lawn of Middletown City Hall, and also down by the river. A little noisy, but but nice. And we'll be out at City Hall again this spring, starting in mid-April with classes for kids as young as 3 and going up to age 20. And we're also registering for the Children's Circus of Middletown, which is a program that's now in its 33rd year. It's a 5-week day camp. It's a partnership between the city and Oddfellows. So it's very affordable. It's free for many kids. And basically it ends in most summers. It ends with a giant outdoor circus performance that attracts about 1,000 people. And it's just a crazy, beautiful community event. Last year we went totally virtual, and it was, I would just say, more successful than we could have hoped. So that was good. This year we're really looking forward to going live and in person again. And we're still working out the details with the city and the school system, but likely it'll be in 2 locations and 2 different schools with kind of limited pods of kids and without a big final performance, but we'll still have in-person circus. So I know there's a lot of families in Middletown who are excited that the circus is going to be back in person this summer, because it's really a Middletown tradition and something where Middletown has created something that's kind of a model for programs all over the country. And the last thing that I would just like to mention is that if any of you know any teenagers, I'm very excited this spring that our teen rep company, which is kind of the senior performing company for Oddfellows, is going to do our first real main stage production in a year. And it's Twilight Los Angeles 1992, which is a play by Anna DeVere Smith about the LA riots following the acquittal of the police officers in the Rodney King beating back in 1992. It's a really powerful piece that has a lot of resonance today. It is obviously no kind of less needed and no less real now than it was in 1992 or in 1965. And we're going to be doing this production at the corner of Grand and Main. So right down the street from the Buttonwood tree in the little lawn by the Community Health Center. So we'll be right downtown for 2 weekends in May. And the auditions for that are coming up March 22nd and 25th. So the week after next. So, and any kid between 13 and 20 is welcome to join that and rehearse 2 nights a week and be part of this, what should be a really unique project. And now I'm going to let Marcella talk a little about what Art Farm's been up to.
Oh gosh. Well, hi. My name is Marcella Trowbridge, and I am the co-founder and executive artistic director of Art Farm. Before I launch into that, I want to acknowledge just a few things. Acknowledge the space that you've created here. I want to acknowledge the land that is unceded by the Wangunk, where we are based in Middletown, Connecticut. I want to say, Jeannie, the Mains in Motion, I think it's beautiful and powerful. You know, I really want to honor Ken. Our young musician friends up at Bread and Puppet have definitely played with Honk. And in fact, our daughter, when she was at Emerson in Boston, was played with Honk. Wendy, who is just, you know, I'm always in awe of the vision and the ability to make manifest. And then of course, I also want to honor Susie and the Buttonwood tree. I'm not from Connecticut, but I was pregnant when I arrived here, let's say a long time ago. And I started volunteering. I didn't live in Middletown. I started volunteering at a little place called the Buttonwood Tree, which was on Rapallo Avenue. And that was what brought me to Middletown, was the button. When John Allison was about 16 months old, he was just a little toddler. So it is circular. So I'm super grateful to be able to do the work I do. So Art Farm's mission is cultivating high quality theater with a commitment to simple living, environmental sustainability, and social justice. It's a tall order, and we often don't fit into any particular one box. So this is our 20th anniversary. We were founded in 2001. Thank you. It's been a journey. We certainly, you know, part of our flagship had been professional outdoor Shakespeare, which may come again. But at this point, we've also been committed to a lot of generative work. Over the years we have, but that's been really important to us. I've been doing a fair amount of work abroad in Sri Lanka as well as Berlin, and what I am able to do there, I also learn and bring back into this local community. A couple of the projects right now, well, we just created an audio project called A Soundscape for Dying with Buddhist sutras with my longtime friend and colleague, Joseph Getter. We have a new piece that was in development. It premiered in February 2020, just before the shutdown. It was supposed to go to some festivals. It's really in line with my my work right now. It's looking at grief as a threshold for increased consciousness and integration, and really feeling that the leadership in our communities, in many ways, artists are called upon to keep carrying that forth, even if it's not easy or simple. The project that is really on the front burner right now is something called Where Are We Now? Race, Pride, Class, and Inequity. It's a project that a colleague of mine, Anitra Brooks, she and I began in 2016. It had a workshop production in 2017, and then after the brutal killings that we were all witness to, which aren't new, we just were witnessing them. we felt called again to relook at that material. So we'll be performing outside in Middletown at the end of June. So you can keep your ears out for that. I feel very, very privileged. The other pieces, real quick, we've been just in the fall when we were able to be socially distanced and outside, held a community grief ritual, which is part of, I'm also a trained death doula, and that feels like an important part of the work going forward. And that soundscape actually was a combination of the death doula work and a response to COVID and not being able to be in person with people. And so we will be doing some more community grief work and also manifesting work around artists as cultural healers. And again, Wendy is such a beautiful example of that. But I really do believe that our societies, there's so much joy and so much love, and the shadow can teach us. But I'm hoping that I can stay present and working in service of that larger community. So thanks for having us.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dick and Marcella. Thank you. Thank you for the work that you do. And one thing that I honor about both of you and the work that you do is how you have the courage to speak on and make art of subjects that need to be shown in the light, that need to be heard, and that are so important, and also have the softness of being a place of nurturing children and nurturing the youth in this amazing space of the arts. So thank you for that, and thank you for the work that you do.
Maria, if I could just also acknowledge one that's very generous. Your mom had mentioned your sister, and I just want to acknowledge that as well, that there was this young girl named Elise who, again, it's just a great example in my heart and my memory of connecting with a young person who was, especially as a teenager, was trying to figure out who they were, where they were safe, how could they unfold in a natural way, and be challenged to grow, and yet be safe enough to make mistakes and be real. And she's a pretty phenomenal woman at this point in her life, and so it's a great example. She's certainly always got a place in her heart. So.
And yeah, the fact that you guys were that for her, we're a safe spot is incredible. And yeah, it all relates to to everything. So that's pretty cool. And now we have Joe Young is our next speaker for the work he does, and I'm excited to learn about it. So if you're on, Joe Young,
can you hear me?
Amazing. Joe, bless you for being here. I hear you. I love you, man.
Yeah, love you too, Cece. Congratulations on this new exciting endeavor, this space that you created. And can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you well.
Oh, okay, great. Well, first of all, my name is Joe Young, born and raised in Hartford. I've always been a creative. I started off as a cartoonist. I was syndicated with my Scruples years ago, and that evolved into doing workshops for kids. And so in 1989, I started my 501c3 organization called the Joe Pictures Show out of Hartford, Connecticut. Our mission was to provide a vehicle for young people to express themselves through the arts. We did it through the performing arts. We did it through the visual arts and the media arts. And as technology came along in the 90s, early 2000, we got into animation workshops. We've done projects like the world's longest comic strip, where we have 5,000 kids paint on a comic strip the length of a football field, that became a Guinness World Record, that was in Ripley's Believe It or Not, and did things like that. And I believe, Dick, we did something years ago with Oddfellows where I think some of your young people came on. I was doing a animation called It's Christmas, Dr. Joe, that was on national TV. And I think Oddfellows provided some entertainment. They came with the juggling and, I think that was Oddfellows who provided that service.
Probably.
It was just so awesome. It was just so awesome. And so, and since then, the nonprofit changed name to Can Do. And we've been so busy, we kind of put it dormant for now with all the different projects that I'm working on. But I find my life has shifted where I sit on a couple of boards. I sit on the Harvard Foundation for Public Giving. They just started a new initiative called Artists of Color. And we have, I think we have about 400,000 that we give out to artists of color. But I just started a new position. I just got appointed to the Edward Ann Roberts Foundation out of West Hartford. So I had my first board meeting with them on, I think it was, I can't remember. I think it was last Thursday. And so it's just exciting to be on the side of being on the side of the funder, because being always writing grants and stuff like that, and knowing the needs of smaller nonprofits, and I think I'm in a position to really help smaller nonprofits, not always the Wadsworth, the Bushnell, and those big guys coming on. I think they're bringing me on because of my interest in trying to help the underdog who is trying to do some really good stuff. And so what I also do, even though, I have my multimedia company, Young Feature Films or Joe Young Enterprises, my work is always social conscience. It's always trying to help the underdog and the community. Some of the projects I'm working on now, I'm doing a big project with Smokey Robinson, the singer, and a couple things like that. Cece and I worked on a sitcom not too long ago. And what's really cool about it is we're giving a lot of community people a shot to get into acting and digital content. And so it probably in about a year or so, the board will probably start up our nonprofit again. But I like the space that I'm in, deciding and trying to help folks get some type of funding, because it's so important for them to get the funding to do the work. At one time, I was a community arts director for the community renewal team, CRT. I remember one time they had this big annual dinner, and they went out and brought this expensive frame for the winner to put their picture in. And then I found a pastel artist to do the work, but they didn't want to pay the pastel artist, but they wanted to pay for the frame. And I said, I'll never let that happen again, because I think that a lot of artists are undervalued. And I think one of my missions is to make sure that they're compensated and recognized. And so, I kind of condensed stuff. I have Rabina McKinley with me. She's part of my team. Rabina, did you want to say anything?
Just to say, Cece, thank you for letting me know about it and inviting me. And I was talking to Joe and just said, I'll just take a few minutes because I've got another appointment I have to make. But I wanted to be here because I met Cece through Joe, and Cece has been involved with all of our projects, just volunteering his time and his expertise, especially with the camera behind the scenes. And so it's just a pleasure to be here. We're all artists. We're all creatives in our own way. I'm a writer by my profession right now. Formerly a teacher, but primarily a writer now. And I'm working with Joe because he's basically my mentor, helping me get my book off the ground. So I just wanted to say it's a pleasure to be here and to meet all of you and to learn more about this entire project that you have going. That's it, Joe.
Yep, no, and I'm enjoying the conversations and meeting folks. And of course, the Buttonwood is an iconic institution in Connecticut, and been there many times. And it's places like that that I want to help support in projects like CC being in certain spaces that I'm in. And so I don't have too much more to say. Hopefully I didn't take up too much time, but before I end, let me leave everybody with a quote that I always say, and that is, if you run after success, success runs away. But if you run after excellence, success runs towards you. So that's all I got to say. And I'm just enjoying being in this space.
Yeah, same here.
Nice, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
That quote. I'm gonna use you and use that and credit you. That's a great.
Oh, you don't have to credit God or that higher power. You know, I'm just a tool. You know what I mean? I'm small potatoes. I find when I give, the more I receive, and the less recognition I get, the more I get recognized in the right way.
Right.
But I appreciate the offer.
I feel that so much. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. And thank you,
Rabina.
Regina.
Okay, Regina, thank you.
Thank you
both.
Regina, yeah.
Now next we have, who's next?
We have Jason Wright.
Jason Wright. I think
Jason
he's
Wright.
got something to show us, something to tell us. So Jason Wright, the floor is yours.
So Jason, this is your oddball time, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about the foundation, if that's okay.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yes, the foundation. This is a nonprofit time. So tell us what good works you're doing.
Can I share my screen real quick? Is that okay?
I think.
Yeah, sure. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's do this, everybody. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
All right. So, hi. Meet the Oddball Foundation. I'm not the only part of the Oddball Foundation. There's more members of our Oddball Foundation, but here is we're comprised of members of Actually, you could listen to this real quick. Let's see if this. Hi there. I'm looking forward to meeting you today. This is Jason Wright. I'm about to describe to you about our foundation. I'm really excited. I just wanted to thank you for meeting us today. I think honestly, Ben Speaks would be a great collaboration with us, and with Safe Coalition. I think we can do a lot of cool things. So I wanted to kind of tell you a little bit about our mission statement. So can you hear it? We're comprised of members of Oddball Magazine.
Yeah, it's all good.
Later, but we were established in 1995, and we pride ourselves on social change, using art and the written word to fight for social justice, foster an artistic community of all people, and promote community growth. We were founded in 2020. The foundation was founded in 2020 to strengthen Oddball's mission to bring back to the community, promote diversity and inclusion of all, and to advocate for those who identify with mental health issues. The board is comprised of community of artists, mental health advocates, and social justice advocates. Our goal is to promote and produce a vastly diverse and fine literature magazine, host community events, writing workshops, which I'll talk about in the presentation, fundraisers dedicated to bringing the literary and advocacy community together to spread awareness and join the fight to end mental health stigma and fight for social justice and environmental issues. We were built to embrace which makes us odd, and for our community of voices to speak louder together and celebrate the uniqueness of the artist, the advocate, and those who strive to be different. So that's why we're the Oddball Foundation, and we're looking forward to collaborating and enjoy the rest of the presentation. All right. So some of our accomplishments real quick. So see that right there, that certified 501c3 nonprofit status, that did not come without blood, sweat, and tears, and plenty of tears, so many tears. But we were established in 2020, right before COVID hit, and we were tax exempt as of December 12th. So since then, we've become Google for Nonprofit certified, which is nice. We've applied to various grants, the Boston Arts Council, a couple other ones. We created a Bonfire nonprofit merch store. We created a strong team dedicated to the mission. We do have a nice team, and we're always taking on volunteers, and 100% inclusive. So right now we have interns from Emerson College, which is pretty cool. So we created that through Handshake. So Oddball Magazine this is my website. This is Oddball Magazine. I hope it plays and you know what? It's not showing. Oh, there it is. All right, this is my magazine. Okay, can you see this? Yes? No? Maybe? So? Can you all see this?
Yep.
All right, so this is my magazine, oddballmagazine.com. I'm very, very proud of it. I've been working and toiling on this magazine since 1995. First, it was a zine, and then it became more than that. So, you know, this is our website. You can find it at oddballmagazine.com. And we have a podcast. We have multiple submissions every single day. We have a bookstore. We have columns. We have this is pretty exciting. We have this many authors and artists have been to Oddball, so this is pretty cool. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of content over 10 years, and that's not even everybody. That's just who we started categorizing recently. So that's pretty cool. We also have this idea called the 3TV, which is like MTV but for poetry and stuff like that. And our latest performance was this one, Mark Blickley and Zoe Anastasio, and before that it was Judge Burton San Diego, Peter Dietrich, Ivan De Jesus, Joshua Corwin, Philip Hazoris. You can donate to our Oddball Foundation merch.
Rabina's ears. She sees the structure in this. I could tell. I could feel it.
You can donate to this is our mission statement, you know, and you can donate to us. I mean, we're pretty new, but we're poised to make change. And then, you know, we've been creating this also cool Oddball Magazine merch shop where you can have shirts that say like advocate on them, and there's my train of thought shirt. There's my train of thought book. There's Chad's mug, Chad Parenzo. You know, be unstoppable, advocate shirt, driven AF, which some people know what that means. Be unstoppable. There's an Oddball Magazine hat. There's a poet shirt. There's that's my dog right there. That's my friend Cecilia. She runs she runs students with schizophrenia. And there's another Oddball Magazine shirt, and here's another Oddball Magazine shirt. So that's a little bit about us. I'm gonna go back to the presentation. I want to kind of share some more cool stuff with you. So I'm going to go back to the presentation. So that's Oddball Magazine, and this is as I showed you earlier. This is Train of Thought 2. This is set for publication. It's going to be publicized in April. So that's pretty cool. Can I keep sharing? It just stopped sharing screen. I'm going to keep sharing if that's okay. So then, you know, we're beginning to diversify the magazine. We had a lot of tracked visitors. We sent out a weekly newsletter. We have a podcast where we interview all sorts of change agents, artists, and authors. You know, we interviewed Vermin Supreme, Slug from Atmosphere, Sage Francis, Will Hall from the Icarus Project and Madness Radio. We're interviewing Jennifer Marshall next, and that's pretty cool. Jennifer Marshall is from This Is My Brave, and then we're working with Massasoit Community College. We just started doing these workshops with them, and we're gonna make a web series. So the first workshop was on Zoom anxiety. The next one's gonna be on pop sonnets. We created all these Future No Future workshops. We began creating a relationship with Waverly Place from Emerson, connecting with the Miracle Project in California, connecting with the Safe Coalition. I just interviewed Jen Knight on the podcast, and that was great. And you know, these are some of the things that we've done there. And then the Future No Future was a workshop that was created in response to basically what was going on like before the presidential election, designed as a creative way for youth to express their feelings of hope or hopelessness. So I did the first one, which was 3 proven ways to beat writer's block. And then Joshua Corwin did Sticking to the Cento, a new twist on a classic form, Liza Zayas did the pendulum, and Chad Parento did Muse versus fake news, which was really fun. And our goals for our foundation is, okay, so we have this idea for a virtual 5K for suicide awareness. We're working on creating a zine, and we want to develop friendships and working collaborations with nonprofits. We realize we're small and we haven't done that much. Oddball Magazine has done a lot for the poetry and art community, and we're just beginning to affect change for like nonprofit work and everything. But we want to see a growth of 1,000 unique viewers to Oddball and increase readership in key locations. And we also want to write new content. So since we did that, we've added human interest stories, which has been a lot of fun. So we want to do virtual workshops. The cool thing about Zoom is we can do virtual workshops with anyone. We could do it, through any of the nonprofits, and we want to learn to, the idea of learning to express yourself in your creative journey through Oddball trained workshop leaders. And then here's the other thing. We have a platform called Oddball Magazine that we encourage anyone to submit to. And like, for instance, Massasoit, they have a special, like, since they're working with us, they can submit to us like pretty easily. And then volunteer with Oddball Foundation, encourage people to write for Oddball. And then we have this idea called Books Not Bombs, which is like this campaign for schools that we want to put books in people's hands that are like art books or poetry books. And the idea is write, not fight. That's basically the idea behind that. And then we're also really passionate about like, we love like the Surfrider Foundation, and we want to do beach cleanups and environmental preservation. We want to do fundraisers, board meetings. We want to diversify our board members. We're actually looking for board members to diversify because basically we had a founding board of just members from Oddball Magazine, but we really want to we want more people from all over the place, from like who have different stories and different energies and stuff. So we want to publish 2 manuscripts with Oddball, and we're also creating this digital care package for schools. This is kind of cool. So if anyone on this call would want to do this, we're trying to create for the Kennedy School in Boston. We're trying to create these digital care packages for the kids to show mental health tricks and wellness trips, wellness things, and like fun little games and mazes and stuff for your brain and things like that. So we're asking our artists from Oddball to kind of help out with that. And then here's the last thing that I really want to do for this year, and it's called the Cherry Run. And besides open mics, workshops, and environmental cleanups, and collaborating with environmental organizations and town halls and farmers markets and public speaking opportunities and conferences, this is what I'm really passionate about. My nephew died 3 years ago, and I want to honor him with this idea called the Cherry Run for mental health. And that's my nephew right there, and that's my sister, and that's my other nephew Ty. And he was 27 when he took his life, and this was actually at my wedding when this picture was taken. So he was my nephew, and he was a victim of depression and addiction, and his life was cut short by suicide. And he was only 27, and every October it comes around, we just can't believe that he's been gone, because he was born on Christmas in 1990, and I was 10 when he was born, and he was such a great kid, and I wish he could run with us, not in memory of him, So that's who we are. We're the Oddball Foundation, and I would love to we're brand new to the nonprofit world, but Oddball Magazine has been affecting change on a scale for poetry, art, and our community for a long time. So what we would, and I want to thank Cece for everything that he has done for me. We have quite a story how I met Cece. So it shows that like Cece had a show called it was called the I Don't Know Show, and I called up one time when Chad Parento couldn't make it, and I called and I ended up talking to him. And it was a snowstorm. I remember it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was talking to him. I was listening to the music on hold, and it was like all this like really cool, weird music. I think he was playing it on a record. I was like, wow, this guy's cool. And then, the I Do Not Know show, right? And I ended up talking to him, and his last question, the last question he said to me was, "What do you want to do? What do you want to leave for the children of tomorrow?" And I was thinking, man, I don't have much of a future, so I don't think I'm going to leave much of a future, or anything. And that was when I was like really super depressed, and I was writing this book. Like these are old poems. These are from 2010 and 2014. And it's with people like CCR Chagra and people from the Out of the Blue Art Gallery and people from Stone Soup that really started to kind of make me appreciate the community of artists in Boston. And there's a lot of good people who have good hearts, like Cece and that guy who did the Honk Festival. That was nuts that you just had him on the show. That was amazing. But like, there's a lot of good people in the world. And unfortunately, there's still a pretty strong stigma behind mental health.
Yes.
And I'm trying to break that, because I have a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder, which is not a picnic, but I handle it pretty well. And also, if you know anything about disorders, they're pretty much fabricated anyway, and it's all basically based on trauma. So if you think about it that way, but we are poised to affect change in this new year. And we would love to collaborate with the nonprofits here, and I'm so thankful that CC invited me to this, and yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'd love to answer some questions if you have any about the Oddball Foundation. As I said, we're small but mighty. We just started in 2020, so we are brand new, but we're poised to make a difference in Boston, and also we would love to collaborate in Connecticut and New York and all that kind of stuff, and and really make mental health a priority, make art a priority, and environmental action and social justice a priority.
Yeah, thank you, Jason. That was amazing. The essence of what they're doing comes from that story and that phone call and that man surviving himself and then building that out of his survival to give that opportunity to everyone. And all of what he just did is from a person just surviving their own mind and reality. And then he manifested all this from it. So thank you, Jason. That's amazing.
Hi, Jason. Does NAMI you've heard of NAMI, right?
Yep.
Do they get involved with this at all, or?
Well, I spoke with I'm speaking with NAMI and trying to see if I can work with them. I'm also trying to work with some of the other nonprofits as well. There's a lot of mental health nonprofits and stuff.
Yeah.
NAMI's definitely one I'm trying to connect with. I know some people. I've spoken at their events. I've been a NAMI interim voice speaker. I've been a mental health advocate for them for a long time. So I spoke with their director recently, and going to continue to speak with them.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's great information. I'm learning so much through this this platform, Cece. The Human Room Open Voice is a wealth of information.
It is.
It's great. So
it's inspiring. It's really inspiring to hear what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
It is, yeah. And you've been around for a long time. So let's connect. We'll connect after this and see if we can do some things together.
That'd be great. I'd love that. And thanks for inviting me. And I'd like to invite more poets from Oddball to join next time. And we have a lot of people. So thanks so much. It's been a really lovely event. Really well done. Thanks, Cece.
Thanks.
Yeah. And it's not over yet. So we're still going. So that actually ends our stage 2, our sharing of nonprofits. And we're going to move on to stage 3, which in this particular case, I think we have 7 performers. So I think most of these performers have well, most, but not all, have performed in round one. So just a little reminder, if you would like to perform and don't see your name on this list on the chat, then please send us a message in the chat. We will put up again that information about how to donate, and eventually we will also have some information about the nonprofits in the chat also, so you can find them.
And also, it doesn't necessarily have to be a performance. It could just be, could be your platform for free speech to say whatever is on your heart, whatever is on your mind, however, and a respectful environment of honoring each other as a work of art and honoring ourselves. So thank you.
Yes, and welcome, Andrea. And I see Regina's on our list of performers too, so that's wonderful. And Maria's going to do a piece too. But first, we're going to roll it around and come back to Steve. So Steve, after that beautiful poem you did, I don't know how you're going to outdo that, but I'm sure you're going to come up with something, and I know your music's wonderful. So please play a tune for us. Everybody, Steve Azzaro.
Steve Azzaro's next. I'm going to take a moment, Steve, before you begin, and connect with Brian here live in front of everybody. So this is where the Human Room Open Voice live stream that has been going out to YouTube and Facebook and eventually add Twitter and LinkedIn. So everything that just happened so far is inside of a restream for the people that did not agree to the 9 principles of involvement to create a sacred space. So thank you everyone here that did that, because that is a key part of this entire concept, that we are free to be human within this system and this thing. It's got a self-sustaining element for those of you that saw the PowerPoint. And so again, Brian, thank you. It's been a blessing. I hope you're sitting back and being a part of experiencing what I'm experiencing in real time. This amazing thing.
I'm enjoying it very much, CC. Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, one more just before we go off the restream. Everyone that's inside the room is going to stay here. Anyone that is not, if you guys want to find a way to say this, because maybe I'm not the one to say it, but the third part, stage 3, and this was done, you got to remember, 20 years ago at the at Mama Gaia's Cafe with real people in a real space. And when it came to the individual free speech, that section became mighty sacred and often personal and intimate. So I didn't think it was fair to put that out into the restream world that give people even more space to feel free amongst the people who have agreed to the principles of involvement. How did I do, Maria? Did I nail that one? You're my guide on that.
Cece, I think you nailed it. And to anybody who wasn't sure, basically all of this is being recorded, but this third part is intimately just us who have agreed to the principles of involvement, and that level of creating this environment for each other, for ourselves. And yeah, I think you got it, Cece. Thank you.
Do you want to take a minute and tell people? Thank you. Hang in there, Steve. You're coming. So you want to take a minute and tell people what to do in order to, because Brian, so the restream is going to be ending, but the Zoom meeting goes on. You got that, right? So
yes,
that's so yes, before you press the end button, if you want to just take a moment, let people know how they could, when it ends, if they want to go through the Buttonwood Tree website and find the thing and then do the principles of involvement, become part of this idea, this community, this vision, whatever you want to call it. And then at that point, they'll receive the link and then they can come on in, and Derek and Mary and Steve that's helping run the door can let them in on that level. So you want to just take a moment and give that before we end the restream?
We can end, and I will do the posting following up. So no worries.
We did since this was the beginning. I think the one thing that we did forget was the splash page. Did we ever get the splash page up?
No, sir.
Time.
It's all about time.
Yeah, it was all about time. So there's going to be basically Anne-Marie on an audio level before we cut off the respring. Could you just verbally give the PayPal and the Buttonwood Tree donate website again, So you go to Buttonwood Tree, there's a donate button there. So this is all for free. And if you don't have it, if you're having trouble eating, this is free. You're here. But if you can and will give, Anne-Marie is going to give you the Buttonwood Tree's PayPal and their website address. And on that address, it has a donate button. The website is new and up and running. So if it glitches, just remember, come back and do it again. But it is safe and secure. It is a secure website and all that as far as the finances go. Again, this is free for everyone. This is a vision that's going to be consolidated and given to the world. This is the premiere. Thank you for being here. Miracles have abound. This started when I was 5. That's a longer story, but that's to come. Anybody involved watching this and is involved in the press and stuff like that, we're going to fix the link on the page so that you could recommend a nonprofit and organization. And I mean, if this isn't a Macy's and Gimbel's moment here with the It's a Wonderful Life, where a nonprofit is giving a voice to nonprofits, and a collaboration of arts is giving a voice to others. This is the opposite of the greed world we live in. This is headed in the other direction. So thank you for joining me in this, making each and every human being a work of art, and all of us together and not apart. So Anne-Marie, you want to give those 2 things? And then Brian, you could end the restream, and everyone will know how to go to the website and then jump in on this one. And the next one is April 14th, and then they're going to go on monthly. And then the vision continues. There are paradigms to come on top of what you see.
Yeah.
To be.
I think that's April 11th.
Yes.
Yeah.
April 11th will be the next one. It is always going to be on the second Sunday, unless something happens, but second Sunday. So April 11th next month. So thank you for joining. And like Cece said, it's free, but if you'd like to donate to help support this program and the Buttonwood Tree, you can go to buttonwood.org. That's www.buttonwood.org and just click on donate, or you can go to the Human Room Open Voice page, and soon we will have that updated so that you can donate on that page also. Like Cece said, our websites, we just launched the new website just like a week or 2 ago. So there's still some glitches here and there. We're still developing it. This program is still in development. So keep coming back and checking. But
it is good.
Buttonwood.org. You can also send us a donation through Venmo at Buttonwood-Tree. And if you just want to go on PayPal, you can send it to thebuttonwoodtree@gmail.com. So that's our email address, of course, thebuttonwoodtree@gmail.com. And again, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. And we hope that you visit our nonprofits that shared today and go to their websites and check them out and share them with your friends to help share the goodness that we're all creating. So I don't want to be too cliche. You've heard this 100 times, but we are all in this together. Cece, thank you again. And now we're going to take it away to round 3, where we're going to leave